see Swiss Beats, Swiss Beats, really getting into art collecting, Jay-Z really getting into art collecting. And my strategy right now is to, really educate and cultivate Americans on the importance of buying art.
Okay.
And I feel like if I can speak about it and get out there about it and people can see me about it, and the more that I grow in my career and influence, if I can really influence Americans to buy more art, that maybe just hopefully that it will, really, level up, the people to buy art, because people are just so left in the dark, man. I mean, if you pull anybody, students, high school student, college student aside and say, hey, who's your favorite contemporary artist after 1965? And Andy Warhol doesn't count. They probably wouldn't be able to name anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Banksy, maybe Shepard Fairey, maybe, whoever, but they're going to know, okay, who's your favorite musician? Who's your favorite fashion designer? Who's your favorite film director? But they probably wouldn't be able to name anybody. And I feel like that is unpatriotic as an American. So I just said, well, I'm not here to just make money. I am here to make impact. So I feel like if I take my business strategy, and that is to cultivate people and educate people, so you'll see me with my social media really putting out a lot of people. How do you buy art? How do you start collecting art? How do you, debunk the myth that you have to have a lot of money to buy art? When I first started out, my watercolors started at $50, in a student show. And then it went up to $150, and then it went up from there. So I really want people to just start buying art and start making art, because so many people are like, yeah, man, I just can't draw a stick figure. I'm so bad at it. So they avoid doing it altogether. When I've taken it like, well, it's not really, the act of being good at it or not. It's really just about the act of expressing it. Because when you express it, you don't even have to show it to anybody. Just do it for yourself. Don't feel like you have to be good. And I feel like that's what keeps a lot of Americans from being more involved in the art.
So how do you spread that message? What are you doing to spread that message? I know that I've seen you do the blogs. You post a blog and you share it. We had you at Artist King, and that was very particular about women in the arts, which we can get into also. But what are your methods, and that how do you spread that message now?
Well, I think right now is just, really getting your message across. I'm in Atlanta, so I think the biggest thing for me right now is social media. I just put my first YouTube video up ever yesterday. That was the big ever. I was like, hi world, I'm here, and that was my first YouTube video ever, and it took me, I had to get over, we all have a fear of success to a point. So I realized within myself that was my block. You know what I mean? That was my block, was I just always hit this thing, and I was like, Yun, what are you afraid of? What are you so afraid of to get this YouTube video out there? Just do it. And finally I came down to it, and I said, Yun, are you really that afraid to let go of your fake friends and what they have to say and what they think of you? No. So I pushed through that, and now I'm just hitting that unstoppable point. And I know what I stand for. I know who I am. I know what I'm about. I know what I'm here to do. I know, about the contribution and the impact. I mean, I am completely within my conviction to serve through the arts. And I feel good. I feel completely confident and just here to serve. And I, people, might not like me. They might not like what I have to say. They might not agree with what I have to say, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to stand my ground. And then through that, you attract your tribe.
Right.
Because one thing go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
One thing I know we talked about at the panel that we did for our team is that, I heard somewhere that a third of the people that you meet are going to like you no matter what you do, okay? And then the other third are not going to like you no matter what you do. And the last third just don't freaking care about what you do. So I was like, okay, well, I'm only interested in the people that are going to love me no matter what I do, okay? Because those are the people that I'm serving. Those are the people that I'm impacting and influencing. And then the third that doesn't care about what I do, they're watching, so maybe eventually, I'll say something that might resonate with them that'll get them to come and be a part of my tribe,
All right.
So that's kind of just, really where I'm at right now. And, with the strategy is it's not just about fine art, it's about an artist brand. So I want to really unlimit myself and I've been doing a lot of, I'm a huge, fan of personal development. I love personal development. I'm constantly reading personal development books, leadership books, listening to personal development audio, attending seminars. Like I'm really on how do I make it better? How do I, make it better and get better at what I'm doing? You could come across one little tip that could just change your entire practice for the better.
Right. Is that and that's and so your what's the YouTube channel and should we start listening to it?
Yeah, actually just my website is I'm redoing everything right now, you guys. So bear with me. I'm redoing a new website, hooking up the YouTube channel and getting the blog better. So it's a work in progress. But my website is www.yun as in Nancy bai.com, yunbai.com.
Okay.
My Twitter is @YunBaiArt, and my Instagram is @YunBaiArt. And the blog is yunnybunny.blogspot.com. And Yunny Bunny is YUNNYBUNNY. And you can find all that through my website. You can link on everything through my website. So it's yunbai.com.
So a little bit more about the women in the arts and is this one thing you're doing is educating Americans to buy more art, but also you're educating artists about the business. I know that that's something that I heard you speak about. When's the right time for a gallery? When's the right time for you to do represent yourself? And then the other subject I heard you talk about was the women in the arts. So let's talk a little bit about that. How do you feel about what you have gone through? What can be better? And how do we spread the message to make a change?
Well, I feel that, I just feel like as an artist, not just a female, just being a female in general in our society today, you do have to go with the struggle. You know what I mean? Because, somewhere in the world, the consensus is, the status quo is that women are second, women are less valued than men or whatever. And so once you have that kind of dark cloud, over you, it's hard to do, anything as a woman. And I feel that, like, the old me used to be a little bit more passive, used to bite my tongue, used to let things slide more, But now I've just really, kind of just said, enough of this. There's just too much sexism in business, and it's not just in art world, it's across the board. And how I deal with it is that, again, I'm going to stand for what I stand for. So if you, want me and my resources and my connects, I'm going to need you to give me a platform where my voice is going to be heard and respected. And if I can't even get that platform, then I'm not going to share anything with you. I'm just going to, me and my dignity and everything else, we're going to walk. And I really want women to stand up for that. We are very powerful. We have amazing, valuable contributions to society, and you have to command that respect. But as far as the art world goes, that's why I got out the traditional gallery game and just kind of, I'm living life and doing business on my terms completely. And you got one life to live, and I've been really exploring this unlimitedness. I said, Yun, how can you approach life and be truly unlimited in yourself? Because I was really limiting myself just in my own head, you know. And so, you know, Jerry Saltz, you know, recently shared a interesting post where there was a show that was being curated in New York. And I love Jerry Saltz because he is such a advocate for women artists, for female artists. He's always been in that position, and it's really refreshing. And so the show was all male, and from what I had observed, it was mostly Caucasian male artists. You know, and I just was like, well, obviously, Yun, this is the gate right here that you're not able to get into. You know, so I just said, well, you know, I don't have to go through that. I can go do it through other ways. I can build a following without having to go through that route. You know, if it's that hard for me to go through that route, then I'm just gonna, you know, go find a different route.
And you're doing that now.
Yeah, I'm totally doing that now. And being back in Atlanta, I can't even share with you, like, it's been weird, it's been different, but it's been a blessing. And, you know, I'm pretty much rebuilding my life from Atlanta and kind of looking at, you know, I'm 35 now. So, you know, when you grow up, you know, your friends kind of change a little bit. You kind of outgrow your friends. You got to drop some fake friends off from your life, you know, and get new good people, you know, that are going to help you and inspire you to get to the next level where you want to go. And, you know, with the city being so booming right now, I love Atlanta. I'm proud of Atlanta. I'm proud of the art that's coming out of here. I've always believed that for collectors, Atlanta is a very, you know, missed treasure trove. Like, the quality of the art here is phenomenal. It's right up there with New York. It's right up there with LA. You know, but we don't have that collector base that understands that here. So you know, so I'm very passionate about just educating Atlantans and Americans in general about, you know, what kind of great art we have in the country, you know, and how supporting the fine arts and the visual arts is a way of celebrating patriotism too.
And go ahead. No, go for it. I wasn't going to say. Oh, go. I'll let you go. Go ahead.
So I wanted to shed light on what I'm doing right now, and this is so cool. It's amazing how divine intervention just kind of interrupts and pushes you on your path. Is that, you know, I always grew up on hip hop, but I wasn't like immersed in it. You know what I mean? And basically, you know, I came back to Atlanta, and one day I ran across the Dungeon family. And somebody had introduced me to them, and I didn't know who they were, Dan. I didn't know who they were. My friend was like, Yun, come meet me at the Dungeon. And I had just come back from LA. You know, I didn't know what Atlantic Station was. You know, there was all these new developments and stuff. And we used to have this S&M club called The Chamber, right, that I used to go to back in college for, we were hanging out Masquerade or whatever. So the Chamber had closed down, and I didn't know what the Dungeon was. So my homeboy was like, Yun, come meet me at the Dungeon. And I'm like, what's the Dungeon? Is that a new S&M club like the Chamber? And my friend was like, no, Yun. He started laughing. And he was like, just come and meet me at this address. So I showed up, and my homeboy was like, Yun, you definitely want to give everyone here your business card and tell them about your art. It was kind of intimidating because it was like 7 or 8, you know, big beefy dudes, you know what I mean? And I'm like, hey, my name is Yunny Bunny, and I'm an artist, and I make these cornflowers. So I went on my little spiel, and this dude named Rico was like, somebody must have cut you a check because, you know, you're like gleaming and glowing and blocking the damn TV and everything. What? I'm always like really happy and bubbly, right? But he was joking. He was like, said it with a smirk, so he was very joking. And then the next day, I get this call from this lady, and she said, hey, I'm putting together an erotic art show, and I got your number from Big Rube. And I was like, really? Big Rube gave you my number? And she said, yeah, obviously he was impressed with you enough to do that. So, and we became friends, and they just really, you know, I just speak so highly of Dungeon Family because they really took me in, and they really take you in as a family. And the